Gentlemen, let's be honest for a moment. Most men spend their entire lives obsessing over performance. You worry about the technique, you worry about the duration, you worry about the physical mechanics of the act itself. Society tells you that if you can just master the physical, you will become indispensable to a woman. But let me ask you something. Have you ever done everything right on paper, everything the magazines told you to do, and yet you felt her drifting away? You were there physically, but emotionally she was a million miles away. You could feel the disconnect in the room. It is a cold upon sinking feeling in your gut. I know you have felt it, and it leaves you confused. It leaves you wondering what is wrong with you. Here is the truth that very few people will tell you. For a woman, sex is not the starting line, it is the finish line. If you are relying on physical intimacy to create connection, you've already lost. We are going to look at this through the lens of psychology and biology. There is a fascinating mechanism in the female brain. It is something that overrides physical sensation, it overrides logic, it overrides even her own conscious desires. It is a switch, and if that switch is turned off, nothing you do physically will matter. But if you know how to flip that switch, if you understand what truly drives female arousal at a biological level, then the physical act becomes just a symptom of something much deeper. We are talking about something that turns women on more than sex itself. This is not about manipulation. This is not about tricks. This is about understanding the fundamental way her nervous system responds to your energy. Today, we are going deep. We are moving past the surface level advice you see everywhere else. We are going to talk about safety. We are going to talk about presence. And we are going to talk about the energy you bring into the room before you even touch her. You have likely been focusing on the wrong things, and it is exhausting you. It is time to stop chasing. It is time to start attracting. By the end of this video, you will understand the 3 psychological pillars that trigger a woman's deepest desire. You will understand why nice guys finish last, but why bad boys eventually fail too, and you will find the middle path, the path of the grounded, masculine man who understands that the mind always comes before the skin. Let's get into it. Point number 1. We need to redefine a word that most men hate: safety. Now, I know what you are thinking. You hear the word safety and you think boring, you think friend zone. You think about being the nice guy who listens to her problems while she goes home with the bad boy. That is not the safety I'm talking about. I am talking about biological safety. This is primal. This is deep in the brainstem. You have to understand how a woman's reality differs from yours. Evolutionarily speaking, women are the more vulnerable sex for thousands of years. A woman's survival depended on her ability to detect threats, physical threats, emotional threats, social threats. Her nervous system is designed to be a highly sensitive radar. It is always scanning. It is scanning the environment, but more importantly, it is scanning you. She is scanning your micro-expressions, your tone of voice, your breathing, the way you hold your body when you're stressed. Here is the science behind it. When a woman does not feel safe, when her amygdala, the fear center of the brain, is activated, her body produces cortisol, the stress hormone, and here is the kicker. Cortisol is the killer of libido. Biologically, a woman cannot be fully aroused if she is in a state of high alert. It is physically impossible. Her body shuts down the reproductive system to focus on survival. So, if you are anxious, if you are needy, or if you are unpredictable, you are triggering her stress response. You might think you are being intense or passionate, but to her nervous system, you feel like a threat. This brings us to the concept of the container. This is what turns a woman on more than physical touch. A woman craves a man who can be a container for her emotions. Women are like the ocean. Their emotions come in waves, storms, chaos, highs and lows. Most men cannot handle the storm. When she gets emotional, what do? Do you get defensive? Do you try to fix it immediately because her emotions make you uncomfortable? Do you withdraw and go silent? If you do any of those things, you have broken the container. You have proven that you cannot handle her energy. If you crumble when she tests you, she cannot trust you. And if she cannot trust you, she cannot surrender to you. Surrender is the key to female pleasure, but she can only surrender if she knows you are solid. Think of it this way. You are the cliff, she is the water crashing against the cliff. The water is chaotic, it is powerful, but the cliff does not move. The cliff does not get angry at the water for being wet. It just stands there, solid, unmoved. When you can look at her, even when she is upset, even when she is being irrational, and you can stay grounded in your own frame. Something magical happens in her brain. Her mirror neurons pick up on your calm, her nervous system syncs with yours, she feels your strength. She realizes, he is not afraid of me, he is not afraid of my chaos. That feeling, that is biological safety, and that is what allows her to drop her guard, that is what allows her to shift from her masculine, protective shell back into her feminine, receptive energy. Now I want to address the nice guy syndrome here, because this is where men get confused. You might say, but I am nice to her, I agree with everything she says, why doesn't she feel safe? Because being a nice guy is inherently unsafe. The nice guy is walking on eggshells, he is hiding his true thoughts to avoid conflict, he is manipulating her perception of him. Women have intuition, they can feel when you're hiding something, they can feel the incongruence between what you say and what you feel. That creates anxiety, creates a signal in her gut that says something is off. A grounded man, a dangerous man who chooses to be controlled, provides safety, a weak man who is nice because he is afraid, provides no safety at all. So, the first thing that turns her on is your ability to regulate your own nervous system. It is your ability to breathe through the tension, to not react impulsively, to be the solid ground she can land on. When you master this, then you don't even have to touch her. You can walk into a room, and if your energy is grounded, she will feel it. She will feel her shoulders drop. She will feel her breath deepen. She will naturally gravitate toward you. She wants to be near the source of stability, because in a world of chaos, the man who can offer true peace is the most addictive drug there is. Once you establish this safety, once you build the container, you open the door for the next phase. And this is where things get interesting, because safety alone is not enough. Safety without tension is just friendship. So how do you maintain that safety while building intense magnetic attraction? That leads us to the second point. Point number 2. Non-reactive presence. This is where we separate the boys from the men. We establish that she needs safety. But here is the trap. Most men think safety means becoming a doormat. They think it means agreeing with everything she says to keep the peace. That is deadly. That kills attraction instantly. Why? Because sexual polarity requires opposition. It requires friction. Think about magnets. You need a positive pole and a negative pole to create a magnetic pull. If both poles are the same, they repel each other. In a relationship, the feminine energy is motion. It is changing like the weather. The masculine energy is stillness. It is the mountain. If she is in chaos, and you join her in that chaos, you have lost your polarity. You have become feminine energy, and two feminine energies do not create sexual sparks. This brings us to the concept of the test. You have probably heard that women test men. Some call it shit testing. It sounds manipulative, but biologically it is a quality control mechanism. She is not doing it to be mean, she is doing it to answer one question. Is he strong enough to handle me? She might make a sarcastic comment, she might pull away cold for no reason, she might challenge your decision. Most men fail this test immediately. They get defensive, though. They get angry. They start explaining themselves. Or worse, they apologize when they did nothing wrong just to make her happy. When you react emotionally to her test, you're telling her subconscious mind, your mood controls my reality. You are telling her that she has more power than you do. And while she might like having power, she cannot respect a man she can easily control, and she certainly cannot desire him. So, what is non-reactive presence? It is the ability to observe her behavior without letting it penetrate your core. It is not ignoring her. It is not being cold or stonewalling her. That is toxic. That is immature. Non-reactivity is staying in your full frame. Imagine she comes home stressed and starts picking a fight about the dishes. The reactive man yells back, "I worked all day, why are you nagging me? Now you are in a fight, you are both children." The non-reactive man pauses. He takes a breath. He looks at her. He sees that this isn't about the dishes. He sees she is overwhelmed. He doesn't apologize, but he doesn't fight. He speaks calmly and he holds his ground. He might even smirk slightly because he sees the game. He doesn't let her storm shake his foundation. He effectively says with his energy, "I love you, but I will not participate in this drama." Do you know what happens when you do this? It's confusing for her at first. She's used to men crumbling. She is used to men fighting back. But when you stay solid, the energy shifts. She realizes her storm cannot move you, and suddenly her anger turns into attraction. It is almost instantaneous. You will see her eyes change. She will stop fighting and start softening. She will want to come closer to you. Why? Because you prove you are the prize. You prove that your internal world is stronger than the external pressure. This turns women on more than sex because it signals high status. In nature, the alpha is the one who remains calmest in the face of danger. The one who panics is the lowest in the hierarchy. When you are non-reactive, though, you are signaling genetic superiority, Batui. You are signaling that you can survive the world. But this requires you to give up something very addictive. You have to give up the need for her validation. Most men are addicted to their woman's approval. Is she happy? Does she like me? Did I do good? You're constantly checking her temperature to decide how you should feel. Stop it. Your value comes from within, your mission, your purpose, your code of honor. She is a guest in your reality, a beautiful, cherished guest, but she is not the architect of your reality. When you truly internalize this, you become dangerous in the best way possible. You become the man she can't quite figure out, the man she can't manipulate, the man she has to work to impress, and that effort she puts in, that investment she makes in trying to figure you out, that is what builds obsession. She wants to be with a man who is slightly out of her control, not because he's abusive, but because he is self-possessed. So the next time she throws a curveball, the next time that there is an awkward silence or a challenge, Asus, do nothing. Wait, breathe, look her in the eyes. Don't rush to fix it. Don't rush to fill the silence. Sit in the tension. That tension is where the spark lives. That tension is where desire grows. If you can master the art of doing less, you will see her doing more. Now we have safety, we have non-reactivity, but there is one final piece, the deepest layer, the one that touches her soul. This is the difference between a man she respects and a man she is addicted to. Point number 3. Emotional penetration. This is the deepest level. This is the core philosophy of this channel. Mind before skin. Most men think of penetration only in the physical sense. But for a woman, the most intense form of penetration happens before you even touch her. It happens when you penetrate her mind. What does that mean? It means the ability to see her, truly see her. We live in a world of superficial attention. Everyone is looking at screens. Everyone is distracted. When men look at women, they usually look at body parts. They scan the curves. They look at the surface. Women are used to being looked at. They are rarely looked into. There is a massive difference. When you look at her body, she feels objectified, which is fine in the right context, but it doesn't build deep arousal. When you look into her, when you pierce through the social mask she wears, then she feels naked. Even if she is fully clothed, she feels exposed. And that feeling of exposure, it is terrifying, and it is incredibly arousing, because every woman has a secret desire to be known, to be understood without having to explain herself. Imagine this scenario. She is acting tough, she is putting on a show for the world, she is smiling, but the energy is off. Most men will just take the smile at face value. But you, the awakened man of yours, you notice the tension in her jaw. You notice the way her eyes dart away. You look at her, you hold the eye contact a second longer than comfortable, and you say, "You seem tired today, not physical tired, soul tired." Boom! You just bypassed her logic. You bypassed her defenses. You spoke directly to her nervous system. You showed her that you are paying attention, that you are present enough to notice what everyone else missed. This is emotional penetration. You are entering her internal world. You are taking up space in her mind. Why does this turn her on more than sex? Because sex is easy to get, attention is easy to get. But being seen, that is the rarest commodity on earth. When a woman feels truly seen by a man, she feels safe to let go. Remember earlier we talked about safety? This is the ultimate safety, the safety of not having to hide. When she feels you understand her darkness, her quirks, her fears, and you don't judge them, and you just observe them, oh well, she creates a bond with you that is chemical. Her brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and dopamine, the reward chemical. She becomes addicted to your presence because you are the mirror that shows her who she truly is. How do you practice this? It starts with the silence. You cannot see someone if your mind is noisy. You cannot feel her vibe if you're too busy thinking about your next pickup line. You have to slow down. When you are with her, put the phone away. Look at her eyes, not in a creepy staring contest way, but with a soft, penetrating gaze. Listen to the things she's not saying. Read the subtext. If she says, "I'm fine," but her voice is tight, trust the voice and not the words. Call it out gently. "You don't sound fine. Come here." That command, "come here," combined with the empathy of noticing her pain, is the ultimate aphrodisiac. It is masculine direction combined with the emotional intelligence. It destroys the friend zone immediately. Friends listen, lovers penetrate. You are piercing the veil. This is why we say mind before skin. If you can touch her mind, if you can caress her insecurity and make it feel safe, if you can undress her soul, then by the time you actually touch her skin, the friction is already there. The fire is already burning. The physical act becomes an explosion of the tension you have already built psychologically. Don't be the man who rushes to the bedroom. Be the man who creates the bedroom in her mind long before you get there. Be the man who understands that her biggest erogenous zone is not between her legs, it is between her ears. Master this, and you will never have to worry about performance again, because the connection will be so electric, the performance takes care of itself. Now, let's bring this all together, because you need to know how to integrate these 3 pillars into your daily life starting tomorrow. Gentlemen, let's bring this home. We have covered a lot of ground today. We moved from the biological need for safety to the magnetic power of non-reactive presence, and finally to the deep intimacy of emotional penetration. If you take nothing else away from this video, remember this. Attraction is not a checklist. It is not a series of buttons you press to get a result. Attraction is a byproduct of who you are. The reason most men fail to turn women on is that they are too focused on the outcome. They are obsessed with getting the girl. They are obsessed with the sex. And that hunger, that desperation, it is the ultimate turn-off. When you shift your focus, when you stop trying to get something from her, and start focusing on being someone for yourself, so everything changes. When you become the mountain, the chaos of the feminine energy will naturally flow around you. It will seek you out, it will want to climb you. You don't have to chase, you just have to stand tall. This is not an overnight fix. You cannot fake this. You cannot fake a regulated nervous system. You cannot fake genuine insight. You have to do the work. You have to face your own demons so that you don't crumble when she shows you hers. But I promise you this. When you master the mind, the skin follows. When you master the energy, the physical pleasure becomes exponential. You will stop having sex like a teenager trying to prove something, and you will start making love like a man who knows he has nothing to prove. That is the goal. That is the standard. If this conversation sparked something in you today, if you felt that shift in your gut, then you are in the right place. We are building a tribe of men who are ready to go deeper. If you are ready to master your psychology and your relationships, make sure you are subscribed. And do me a favor, scroll down to the comments. Tell me which of the 3 points hit you the hardest. Was it the safety, the non-reactivity, or the penetration? I want to hear from you. Until next time, master your mind, lead with your energy. This is Mind Before Skin.